You are designing a wireless network for a small business, and the administrator requires wireless communication rates of 1 gigabit per second or higher. Which of the following standards should you implement to achieve this? A. 802.11a, C. B. 802.11g, C. 802.11n, D. 802.11ax. Answer: letter A and D. 802.11ac, or Wi-Fi 5, and 802.11ax, also known as Wi-Fi 6, have considerably exceeded other standards with throughput of over 1 gigabit per second and multiple gigabyte per seconds. Many consumer-grade Wi-Fi routers and devices released between 2013 and 2015 supported the 802.11ac Wave 1 standard, and it is still used in many devices today. However, as technology has advanced, newer Wi-Fi standards such as 802.11ac Wave 2 and 802.11ax have been introduced. What is the port number used by DHCP for communication in a network? A. 67/68, B. 137/139, C. 80, D. 445. Answer: letter A. DHCP uses ports 67/68, NetBIOS/NetBT use ports 137/139, HTTP uses port 80, SMB uses port 445. If you have been tasked with configuring a device that will be monitored using an SNMP agent and manager, you need to know which port the SNMP manager will use for polling the agent. Which of the following ports will the SNMP manager use for this purpose? A. TCP 161, B. UDP 143, C. TCP 143, D. UDP 161. Answer: letter D. The IMAP protocol functions through port 143, and UDP port 161 is used by the Simple Network Management Protocol, SNMP. The SNMP protocol works with the UDP Transport Layer Protocol, which is lightweight and connectionless. UDP works well for SNMP because it doesn't need a dependable connection, which isn't necessary for SNMP. This is because SNMP is a stateless protocol, so each request is separate and can be managed individually. The SNMP manager has to send many requests to several agents at once. The lightweight UDP protocol is the best choice for this because it allows fast and easy communication with low overhead. With which port is the LDAP protocol associated? A. 139, B. 389, C. 22, D. 139. Answer: letter B. The Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, LDAP, is used to access information stored in a directory known as LDAP directory or an LDAP database. LDAP uses port 389. Secure Shell, SSH, uses port 22. NetBIOS uses port 139. Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP, uses port 3389. What are the Wi-Fi router channels that do not require DFS and TPC support? A. Channels 52 to 64, B. Channels 100 to 140, C. Channels 149 to 165, D. Channels 36 to 48. Answer: letter D. Channels 36 to 48 are available for domestic usage. Channels above 48 require routers with DFS and TPC capabilities to avoid interference with weather radar and other radar systems. Channels 120 to 128 are reserved for government and commercial weather radar systems, and Wi-Fi routers are not allowed to operate on them without the use of DFS and TPC. Channel 165 is reserved for industrial, scientific, and medical applications. The FCC and IEEE regulate channel usage in the United States. Channels 149 to 165 is also subject to DFS and TPC requirements. In the United States, these channels are only allowed for indoor use to avoid interference with radar systems. Hence, it's not always the case that the UNI 3-channel graph would depict the DFS and TPC requirements. Don't use both channels in one area. It can interfere with Wi-Fi and radar signals and make them weaker. It's important to follow rules and use DFS and TPC to avoid disturbing other systems that operate on the same frequency. DFS lets unlicensed devices use 5 GHz bands for Wi-Fi without interfering with radar. DFS detects radar signals on channels that are not licensed. If the radar signal exceeds the established limit, unlicensed devices are required to switch to a different channel. Unlicensed spectrum refers to when an operator uses public frequency bands like 900 MHz, 2.4 GHz, and 5 GHz. Using these frequencies can cause interference because they are available for anyone to use. To mitigate conflicts, power output is limited by regulations. A wireless signal's power has three main components. Radio strength is measured in dBm and is called transmit power. Antenna gain boosts a signal by focusing it in one direction instead of spreading it over a wide area. Gain is measured in decibels isotropic, dBi. EIRP stands for the effective isotropic radiated power. It is a measure of radio wave radiation and is calculated by adding the transmit power and gain in dBm. Once a network operator is licensed, they gain the exclusive right to use a particular frequency band within a specific geographic region, granted by the regulator. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, regulates communication in the U.S. If interference is detected, the operator has the right to stop it. The government, military, and big businesses require a trustworthy and regulated wireless network. Licensed channels offer better security and privacy for sensitive data and communications.